Megan, welcome to the Hub Johannesburg and the Sane Social Innovation Imperative event. Follow me this way.
Yay for us, this is our first social innovation event. SANE is a network for innovators and entrepreneurs. What we aim to do is to have these sort of events and an online discussion around innovation and the issues around innovation. Thank you for all, and I'll give the floor over to Emma.
As we're going to show you a little video that will just set the tone for what we are talking about today.
If you look at progress in general in the last 100 years, I think it's been strong and ugly. We have more, so we've progressed, but as Confucius would say, more than enough is too much.
The big issues of today are environmental or social, poverty, access to clean water, health, education.
We're fundamentally changing the chemical makeup of the earth.
We are quickly becoming a global neural network. The power of a correct idea in this interconnected age spreads so quickly that scale can happen on a never-before pace.
Once you get to the point where just anybody in any community is empowered to learn, design, create, and participate, it will allow everybody to feel a sense of both ownership and responsibility to each other and to the rest of the world.
We saw a loan from Nairobi, Kenya, go to someone in Oakland, California, really changing which way people are helping people. So long we've conceived of the North helping the South, but it's so wonderful to see the reverse.
So co-creation is rising. Millions are expressing in soft and hardware and art. They are sharing this work. An increasing number of people see themselves not as users, not as consumers, but as creators. And they are showcasing their work, and they are selling their work beyond blogs, beyond photos and videos and Facebook.
How can we include a mass or cross-sector of society to experience the innovation? So not only having access because of wealth, but using money distribution so that more people can come aboard.
The whole definition of the shareholder is shifting. So the shareholders are the users and the producers.
How does companies, you work with companies, you work with social entrepreneurs, how do we get everyone in the street to make it easy for that person to understand where they can enact their personal agency?
Because social entrepreneurship, for example, or social innovation, it's still new, especially for us in South Africa.
Context. I want to bring this down to a South African context here. Is my experience with social entrepreneurship and with social innovation in this country is if you want to scale social innovation, don't use social entrepreneurs as a tool. I don't like the fact that people who have little value systems make huge amounts of profit. And social entrepreneurs, typically when I go and meet them, they're the poorest of the poor. The social entrepreneurship movement, since the 60s and 70s, has actually come out of the non-profit movement. And in scaling and looking at capital and what capital wants, social entrepreneurs right now are not providing deals that can scale. So in the world of social innovation, and it says it's quite broad, is what I want us to maybe do is stop thinking about non-profits, for-profits, and all the terminology. What I want to really think about, or get us to think about, before we think of entities, is let's think about intent, let's think about the product and the need for that product, let's think about the client who wants to purchase that product, and start there as a basis. The market will not solve a social problem, but it's a tool that needs to be encompassed if you want to think in a system. And a good example I saw on the board, education. I've been trying to work in looking at profitable, affordable models to education. And one of the biggest issues there is that you can only get quality education down to a certain price, leveraging technology, bricks and mortar, but the market can't produce anything further than that, or else you start substituting quality. So at some point, you need to start tackling the ecosystem, the system, the policy around it. But I'm having to go and speak to farmers and agri-tech providers, and I'm having to delve into the energy sector, and I'm having to work with entrepreneurs who haven't fully encompassed their social vision yet, but they live and die by their commercial model. And when they live and die by their commercial model, and I can see that there's an intent, I can help bring about and support that intent into something that's measurable, that's something that I can go raise capital for and hold an entrepreneur accountable to certain components of their social vision.
Entrepreneurs abroad are designing scale into the foundations of their business. Within a South African context, there is not that many instruments that support startup innovation. I'm quite excited that, for example, there's been an increase in hackathons in South Africa in the last, I'd say, 2 years, where you come and compete against other entrepreneurs in starting up new businesses and new ideas and new models. And it often comes with some seed capital and support to see your project to life. But I also know of so many people who are getting money from the EU, to launch their businesses in Europe. Once we start speaking about external funding with that kind of category, we name it aid over here. So I think we also need to be careful about the languaging when we're using different terms of support. Perhaps it's seeding risk finance. Like we often stand up and say, like, I have the solution. Actually, you don't. Like, we need a whole bunch of stakeholders to come on board, test it. If it breaks, try again.
Being a GIBS student on social entrepreneurship, I am trying to build a model where I want to transfer that, entrepreneurial skills of our community, share it, integrate it with some of the informal, sectors of South Africa.
Oscar, thank you so much for, as you said, adding the diversity. We really appreciate it. People from Pi Magazine is here, and Pi is about people, innovation, entertainment. You're welcome to take a coffee at the door before you leave. Thank you so much.
Today's workshop is very thought-provoking, stimulating and inspiring as well.
I think what stood out for me was the fact that we, people who are NGOs and social entrepreneurs, tend to understate ourselves and underestimate ourselves, and really beyond the heart of the work we do needs a core business principle and a business process.